Are you looking to start your very own business and become your own boss? Well, I know the question that you have. Why do so many small businesses fail? In today's video, I'm going to let you know how to overcome the curse of small businesses. So what's going on, guys? It's Josiah, your success consultant, and in today's video, we're going to discuss why small businesses fail. 80% of all small businesses fail in the United States of America. And there are a few very specific reasons why. So with no further ado, we're going to hop right into it. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can get all kinds of free, valuable content in order to be your very own boss. So the very first reason why small businesses fail. And I kind of want you to start thinking about this, even in your own time. Just start meditating about, what are some of the reasons why small businesses wouldn't work? What are some of the things that separates the people that are successful business owners from the people that end up being bankrupt within a few years' time? Is it because of the fact that, some people work harder than others? Is it because of the fact that some people have more skill? When you actually think about it, it doesn't have that much to do necessarily with work ethic, IQ, or certain other factors that you may be thinking of, but rather it has one specific reason. There's one specific purpose as to why most small businesses fail, and we're going to talk about that right now. One reason why small businesses fail is due to lack of cash flow. Okay? I want you to make sure that you understand this right now. Most small businesses in America fail due to lack of cash flow. What does this mean? In layman's terms, it means that you run out of money to keep your business alive. Have you ever heard the saying, it takes money to make money? Well, in many cases, that's true. You've got to be able to have some type of working cash flow, working capital, in order to keep your business afloat. And most businesses, they start off with maybe a small capital amount, maybe $1,000 or more. Some people take out loans. But the problem is, after you've started the business and launched the business, you don't have enough revenue coming in to keep your doors open from one year to the next. Being a business owner can become very expensive. And so in today's video, what I want to show you is some of the top things that we actually spend money on in starting a business. See, there's a lot of you that's watching this video right now, and you may be thinking, well, the only thing that I have to spend money on is my overhead expenses. You're not thinking about anything else that goes into a business, and you're thinking that any money that you make from the business, you're going to pocket and everything is just going to be great, right? You couldn't be more mistaken. And that's the reason why, for free in this video, I'm going to clear a couple things up so that way you don't make so many of the same mistakes that others have made when starting a business, okay? So typically when you're investing in a business, you are putting money towards four primary things, okay? Now I want to start off by saying every business hopefully has income. Okay? This is what you gotta have to keep your business afloat. But as you have income, one of the things that you're going to have as far as where the money is coming out, right, is operating expenses, right? No big surprise there. But then, guess what? What about you walking away with some cash? What about your paycheck? We'll call this owner's compensation, right? Your personal pay, right? Your pay. Then after the owner's compensation, don't you have to be able to put some money towards paying taxes? Think Uncle Sam wants a cut of whatever it is that you're doing in your business. Don't think that you're just going to be able to make money hand over fist and Uncle Sam ain't going to have a hand in it. Uncle Sam has a hand in everything. So right here, you got to have some money going towards taxes, okay? And then also what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to have, I'll say for the sake of this video, reinvest maybe slash savings. Let's just say that. Okay, I'm going to keep it simple in this video. You're going to find that all of your business expenses at a very basic level, okay? Now, this is not going into any, CFO type of discussions, no accounting, no treasury controller type discussions. Trying to keep this very simple and very plain. As you're operating a business, your business expenses are going to be divvied up primarily across these different areas. You're going to have income that comes in, right? And then it's going to be minus these expenses right here. Your operating expenses, how much money you're going to get paid, your taxes, and then how much money you put back into the business, okay? And it's going to come in different little percentages. Now, here's the thing. Are you going to be making enough money from your company in order to be able to fill every area? That's the reason why I'm always telling you guys in many of my videos, when you start a business, start small. Because what happens is, a lot of you guys getting out of the gate and starting your business, you spend so much money just on this alone in your operating expenses, you don't have enough income coming in to be able to just offset this one item right here, right? You're buying all these fancy cameras, you're buying the best website, the best theme, all of these, e-commerce systems that are super duper advanced and powerful. You don't need all of the most cutting edge things when you're first getting started. When you're first getting started, you want to be able to start as small as possible. You want to start with humble beginnings. In fact, if you look at some of the most successful corporations that have ever stood the test of time, many of them started out of their garage. So start small and keep your operating expenses pretty short, okay? Now, we'll talk about some other things at later times and different recommended readings for you to check out. One of the books that I recommend a lot of times is a book called Profit First. But you want to make sure that you have a good understanding of keeping your expenses small. Now, if you're already running a business, one of the main things that you should be doing right now is actually going through the list of expenses that you have and actually validating whether or not you actually need all of those expenses. Because I'm telling you, most small businesses in America, right? And even could be larger companies and corporations. Most businesses in America are only 1 to 2 bad months away from going bankrupt. Okay? Don't believe the hype. I know you see all these YouTube ads and all these different billboards where you think everybody is balling and everybody is doing it. Trust me when I tell you that most businesses in America today, because of the fact that their money has to be spread across so many areas, they're only 1 or 2 bad hardships away from going under completely. And that's the reason why 80% of all small businesses fail, because when that bad month happens, when that slow month happens, you don't actually have enough cash on hand to be able to pay towards expenses or these other areas that I'm talking about. So let's talk about these other 3 areas. I know that you may understand it on the surface, but I'm trying to show you how this will actually play in deeper into the discussion of your business at large and how 80% of all businesses find themselves going through challenges when they're having to tackle expenses in these areas, okay? So we've talked about problems that can happen at operating expenses. Some of you guys, your expenditures are too high. Okay? When it comes to your owner's compensation, how much you're walking away with, this could get very tricky because some people take out too much money, right? Maybe you're making some money, you got some sales coming in, but maybe you're spending too much money on yourself. And when you're starting a business, it's important that at the beginning of that business, you take a lot of that money and you reinvest it into growing your company. You know, when I was building up my personal company, the Urban Money Movement LLC here in Austin, Texas, the first 5 years of its inception, for the most part, I didn't walk away with one single check. For a solid number of years, I was just taking the money that I made and I was using it towards operating expenses, taxes, and reinvesting it back into the company. I wasn't paying myself from my business. I had other income streams that I was using for my own personal spendings, okay? So when it comes to your business, you need to start getting clarity around how much money am I going to be pulling out for myself? If you pull out too much money for your business, from your business for yourself, then what's going to happen is you're going to bankrupt yourself pretty quick, okay? You can't grow the business if you're always taking and pulling away from it, all right? That should be easy enough. Don't take too much money out of the business, okay? Don't pay yourself too much. When it comes to the subject of owner's compensation, on the flip side, however, you don't want to build a business model where the only way that the business is cash flow healthy is if you make no money at all. Because if that were the case, what's the point of you actually running a business, right? Like, I know that you're trying to give value to the world. You may be trying to have some level of impact and connect with people, and your business is your dream come true. But don't you actually want to be able to have something from the business that you can use for your own personal finances to put food on the table? If you don't have any money that you're making personally from your business, that's going to make you a slave to your business because you're always going to have to work. You're never going to be able to take time off, and you're always going to have to find another means of making income permanently in addition to running your business. That's a recipe for disaster. I can guarantee you that. I know business owners right now, they've been running their business for years and years and years and years and years. But in not being able to take any money out of the business for themselves, they're always having to put in a lot of hours in their company and a lot of hours in their 9-to-5 job. You only want to have a 9-to-5 job coupled with this, but for so long. If you're making the right moves and making the right decisions, there should come a point in which you're able to transition out of that 9-to-5 job and run your business full time. And so for those of you that are actually looking to do this in a serious way, I would encourage you guys to click the link below. This is all for free. It's the Empire Builder. It's my personal gift to you that's going to show you how to be able to build your own empire from scratch. How to be able to go from making little to no money, maybe in a job that you don't really like, and you want to transition out of that job and start setting up your own independent streams of income. That's what I did personally, okay? I went from, at one point in time in my life, being broke and homeless to paying off over $95,000 of student loan debt within 2 years after graduating from college. And then after I graduated from college, I worked for a number of years in corporate America, and I was using my finances from corporate America to build my own business in time. And then in time, I was able to leave corporate America, make my retirement at the 9-to-5, and get into my own business full time, where I'm able to travel the world and to be able to make money from the comfort of my own home. Okay? So I'm living proof that this can be done, but you've got to know what you're doing in order for you to be able to do it. It's not going to happen by magic, okay? So if you want to get that empire builder, make sure that you click the link so that way you can just put in your email and you're going to get the free gift, all right? Now, back to where we're at. You don't want to take out too much money here, and you don't want to build a business model where you're not taking out any money at all ever, because hopefully one day you would actually be able to live off of this business and it's going to reward you rather than paying you. This business is going to be a big pain for you if you're never able to take money from it, okay? Next point, taxes, okay? Taxes, taxes, taxes. I'm sure that you've heard all types of horror stories about the IRS auditing people, auditing businesses, all types of situations happening. When you get paid, you need to make sure that Uncle Sam on time gets paid, okay? You got to make sure that Uncle Sam gets paid on time. And this could be in the form of payroll taxes. This could be in the forms of other types of taxes, okay? For that type of insight, it's best to be able to have an accountant on board, all right? I'm just giving you a general overview here of where your money is going to go. See, what you got to understand is this. If you want to make a certain amount of money per year in terms of take-home pay from your own business, you need to do the math on what that's going to look like after covering these other areas, okay? You need to walk away with some money for yourself, absolutely. But you can't be so naive into thinking that for every dollar that you make in revenue, right, income, that you're going to pocket every last dollar, because no. You got bills to pay to keep the lights on. You've got taxes to be able to pay. Even if you partnered with somebody in a business that you start, guess what? It's not just you that's walking away with the compensation. They've got to be compensated as well, okay? So lastly, on this point, you don't want to just take money from the business and not put anything back in. Again, you need to be able to have some money that you're keeping in the business in order to help the business grow. A business cannot grow without a cash base, okay? Maybe you need to get new technology. Maybe you need to get better signs for the front door. Maybe you need to get, more clients. So you need better tools and better systems to be able to manage all of the clients that you have. And in this case, you've got to have cash available to be able to reinvest it to build up your company, okay? I'm telling you. Do not make the mistake of pulling out so much money from your company that you cap yourself off at a ceiling, okay? You want your business to be able to have a level of healthy growth from year to year. And the only way that your business is going to grow is if you invest in better tools, better systems, better processes, better learning, better team. All of those things cost money, and that's the reason why you need to have a dedicated allocation set aside just to make sure that you have some cash on hand. Prime example of this, Warren Buffett in Berkshire Hathaway. He's got billions of dollars that he has stashed away just for the sake of having money in the company in the event that the business itself falls on hard times, right? And it's all going back to this principle that I'm sharing with you right here. Some of the money he has in Berkshire Hathaway, of course, to be able to grow it. If he wants to be able to invest in other companies, buy and acquire other companies. But in the event that an emergency were to take place and Berkshire Hathaway fell on hard times, then guess what happens? He's already got money set aside to make sure that they have some coverage. Okay? Now, this is what you got to understand about your business. I don't care how hard you work. I don't care how good your idea is. I don't care how talented or how smart you think you are. Your business is going to experience hard times from time to time. And that's especially as you're trying to get started, as you're trying to build it, and as you're trying to grow it. Many businesses are seasonal. So there are going to be some seasons and some months that are going to be better than others in terms of being able to make sales. So when those bad months happen, will you have enough cash kept in your business to make sure that your employees still get paid, to make sure that your vendors still get paid, to make sure that if you're living off of this business, to make sure that you still get paid? You see what I'm saying? Even if the income isn't coming in at its ideal level, you still need to be able to have a cash base already in the bank to make sure that your business can survive during the hard times, okay? So, second point that I want to be able to share with you as we conclude this video, right? Just doing a basic recap. Why do small businesses fail? Well, number one, it's due to the lack of cash flow. 80% of all businesses in America fail within the first 5 years, largely due to a lack of cash flow. So they start a business, they want to start making money, but they're not making enough money to be able to offset their expenses. Maybe they took out debt. Maybe they took out a business loan. Maybe they bought things where they were spending beyond their means in terms of the technology that was being used to run their organization. Could have been a whole number of things, okay? Most businesses will run out of cash flow because they have to pay across these areas and they just run out of cash, okay? Secondly, the reason why businesses fail is lack of knowledge, okay? My people are destroyed for a lack of what? Knowledge. Knowledge on what? Knowledge on how to effectively operate as a business owner. I've said this before in previous videos, and I'm going to say this again. There's a big difference between working effectively as a worker in a 9-to-5 job versus working effectively as a business owner. There's a big difference between you being good at maybe being a barber versus you being good at managing, running, and creating a barber shop. Those are two totally different things. And most people, they go into a business because they believe that because they are skilled at what they do, right? No, most people don't start a business, right? These 80% of all small businesses that fail within 5 years, this 80% of small business owners, they didn't get into the business because of how much they sucked at what they did. These were people that were so good at what they did, in many cases at their 9-to-5 job, that they tried to make a business out of it. But the problem was they were never taught how to be able to operate their job from a owner's perspective. Because when you when you work, right? Excuse me real quick. When you work at a 9-to-5 job, your only job is to take care of the one task at hand that's specific to your role. So if you're a programmer, all you have to do is program at that job. If you're a construction worker, all you have to do is do construction at that job. But if you're running a construction company, well, then you got a whole array of things to be able to do. How are you going to market your construction company? How are you managing the finances of your construction company based upon the money that you got coming in versus the amount of money you're spending on materials, advertisements, maybe hiring other contractors, etc.? These are all things that you got to keep in mind. So a lot of times, most people go into business not knowing how to actually run a business. As silly as that may sound, most people, they get into a business thinking, oh, all I have to do is be good at making something, and then I'm going to sell it to somebody else and they will buy it. that's an oversimplified point of view on how to be able to run a business. Just because you might make a good burger, it doesn't mean that because of the fact that you're good at cooking it, it doesn't make you necessarily the wise businessman on how to distribute those burgers to your customers. Okay? So, no matter how skilled you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how hard you work, none of that will overcompensate the gap of a lack of knowledge. So you have to have knowledge about how to effectively start a business, maintain a business, and grow a business, okay? These are three separate things that are all very important in the world of business, okay? So, if you want to be able to learn more about what we're talking about in today's video, make sure that you get the Empire Builder, because that's going to be the start of you positioning yourself to, number one, get the money that you need to get to start a small business. Number two, you need to start thinking about your action plan on how you're going to be having the time to start your small business, because you may have, a job, you may have other commitments outside of your job, whether it be family, whether it be church, community, other activities. You've got to know how to be able to build an empire from scratch. And in that Empire Builder gift that I'm going to be giving to you, it's going to give a step-by-step run-through on what you should be doing and when, in terms of making sure you know how to get the best paying source of income that you can have right now to help you grow this company. And then it's also going to show you the time and the tasks that you need to take in order to go from working at your regular 9-to-5 day job to making that transition into entrepreneurship, okay? There's no greater feeling than being your own boss and having your own sense of independence in this world. But you don't want to rush into it. You need to know something about what you're doing. Because unfortunately, 4 out of every 5 small business owners are bankrupt and their business is done within the first 5 years of getting started. But if you have the knowledge that you need to have and you have an understanding on how to properly grow a business, I think that you too can survive. So download the Empire Builder. Make sure you leave me a comment to let me know what you thought about this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel so that way you can get other free videos where I'm helping you along the way just like this. And please make sure to tell a friend. Be your brother's keeper, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.